Shalom, Yasharal. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kadash. I want to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, who are ready to double honors. A salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai, pushing his truth across the four winds. We living in a time of the Great Awakening, and you have a lot of people coming to the truth of their nationality. And when they come to the camps, they see things that are taboo to them that they wasn't used to seeing when they was in so-called in that plantation Christianity, and they see brothers using so-called foul language, social unacceptable speech in this society. They see guys being rough and rugged, and they're not used to saying that because modern day Christianity, it effeminizes you, all right? It emasculates you. All right. But when they come to the camps, they might see a brother debating the scriptures. All right. And what they don't understand, debating the scriptures brings forth edification. That's how many brothers' testimonies is when they came to the faith. They said they looked on the highways and they seen professors, pastors, all right, the so-called wise of this world getting confounded by the elders of Great Millstone and elders throughout various camps. And that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, when they look at brothers, they be like, well, if he ain't receiving it, let him go, man. Let him go all about his business. All right. And those are normally novices saying that. You got to have discernment. Sometimes we'll know a guy's not going to get it. But when you have the camera on and people people are looking at the dialogue, people get fed. All right. When you have a Christian coming up talking about hell is a disco inferno under the earth, and then you rightly divide the scriptures and bring out that it's not. It's the condition you in. You go from precept, line up on line, here a little, there a little. It's not about the guy that's in front of you. It's about the people that are looking at on camera, and they get edified. All right. That's why it's imperative for young brothers that come in, man, you just be quiet, man, and you learn from your elder brother. If you see your elder brother doing it, then it's 9 times out of 10 is okay. Vocab Malone that went from Chicago to New York to Dallas to almost all so many camps around the earth. I mean, so many camps around the nation. All right. And those brothers dealt with him. Long as the person don't come up ignorant and belligerent, they cut his ass up. And everybody that looked at those dialogues were edified by those dialogues. They didn't tell him, oh, man, you're not receiving this. Get the fuck up the block. All right. They toyed with him. All right. Although they was toyed with him because, I mean, if you can't debunk Christianity doctrine, you need to be on the other side with a pen and a pad. All right. A young brother that's been in 6 months could debunk that bullshit. But the point of the matter is Vocab Malone not going to receive this truth. Vocab Malone is the enemy of this truth. But if he come to a camp and a brother deal with him, it's not about a brother trying to convert him. It's about the edification that comes out of the debate. Now I'm going to go through a few precepts and show that this has been going on since the early church, man. It's been going on since the early church. And so you young brothers that be hollering, oh, man, he not getting it, go on and ignore him, man, you're a novice. Just hold fast, man. Hold fast and learn and mature in the spirit, man. So I'm going to start off in Acts 17 and 17. All right. And this is what it reads. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons in the market daily with them that met with him. This is Paul. He went out. He was a defender of the gospel. He went out teaching the truth of the scriptures, whether people heard, gave heed, or whether they forbade, according to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. Okay. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. And those are other people with different philosophies. Okay. And some said, what will this babbler say? So they were scoffing at him. They were mocking him. Others, he seemed to be a setter forth of strange gods. All right. Because he preached unto them Yahushua in the resurrection. All right. Now, these are simpletons. These are people that's not receiving the doctrine that Paul was bringing forth. Now, we're going to see what happens at the end of this matter. And they took him and brought him unto Arabicus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? All right. Now, this is a chance for him to push the doctrine. It say he was in the market daily. When you look up that word market, it's the in the Greek, it's the agora. All right. Basically the chief place of concourse. All right. And when you're in the agora, you're gonna have people walk by with different philosophies, and they're gonna come engage with you. And a lot of them are not gonna be converted. But you engage for the other people that will get edified. Okay. For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We would know therefore that what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. All right. And these are Israelites, man. These are Israelite foreigners. These are niggas. Like your modern day Kappa niggas in them sororities and fraternities, niggas into that Masonic shit. All right. Niggas in Buddhism. All of them would come to this place to philosophize. All right. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill. Now, when you do the history on Mars Hill, it was a place where people came and debated their religious views, their philosophical views, their government views. That's where Capitol Hill is birthed out of. All right. America is a carbon copy of ancient Rome. All right. This is during the Roman Empire. That's where you get Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is where those senators come and debate their cause. They come bring their legislation that they trying to get passed. They write up bills to get them passed. And that's what was going on in this day and time. Now, look, Paul, a servant of Yahweh B'Shem Shah, he was like, fuck it. Let me go up there. Let's see if I'm going to cast out this net and let's see if somebody jump in, man. All right. In fact, I pulled up an excerpt about what went on during the time of Mars Hill. All right. Here we go right here. Damn, I thought I had the excerpt ready. Bear with me, Yasharal. It's going to pop back up. Bear with me, Aki. I had a clip that showed you what they did back in the days on Mars Hill. Thought I had it on there. All right. Now bear with me. Let me get to the point. This clip shows you what was done in Mars Hill during the time of Paul, during the time of the apostles. Okay. And it also shows you that all right. Bear with me, Aki. Here we go, right here. Hate when that shit happen. All right, this the point right here. All right. This was Mars Hill's purpose in Greek society, rising some 377 feet above the land below and not far from Acropolis and Agora. That's what I just told you earlier. Agora is the marketplace. Mars Hill served as the meeting place for the Areopagus court, the highest court in Greece for civil, criminal, and religious matters. Under Roman rule at the time of Paul, Mars Hill remained an important meeting place where philosophy, religion, and law were discussed. That's where people went and debated. All right. Now Paul went to Mars Hill. He knew what time it was at Mars Hill. He knew that that's where people go to debate philosophies and whatnot, and he used that as a time to prophesy. He used that as a chance to prophesy. So let me pick up where I left off. Okay. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too suspicious. For as I passed by, and behold your devotions, I found an altar in this inscription to the unknown power, whom therefore you ignorantly worship, whom in him I declare unto you. Yahweh made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Neither is he worshipped with men's hands, though he need any he needed anything, seeing he giveth to life all breath and all things. This is what we teach. All right. So the brother barely prophesying, basically prophesying. All right. Now I'm gonna skip down to the point. And when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some mocked, and others says, we will hear this again of this matter. All right. So you had some that mocked. All right. You had some that laughed at them, but you also had others say that we will hear this matter again. So guess what? Their understanding was open. They had an ear for it because they heard the debate. All right. So Paul departed from among them. Listen, this is the point right here. Howbeit certain men clave unto him and believe. You see, when you have two factions come up and debate, all right, you have people that are neutral and they're looking but at the two factions they're debating, and edification comes out of it a lot of times. That's a lot of brothers' testimonies how they came into faith, among which was Dionysius, the Areopagite, and a woman named Damaris, and others with them. So when Paul went to the debate hill, Mars Hill, he went and debated his cause, and edification came out of that. People came into the truth. All right. And that's what happens when we be on the block, man. Sometimes you're gonna have bug outs come up there talking shit. All right, rambling. We had one that came to our camp this weekend, rambling. This guy was so bugged out, he say that he was the Mashiach. He say he was Yahushua. All right. Then I looked at the guy, he posted the video, and we dealt with him. You know, we dealt with him. We went in the scriptures with him, and it wasn't about trying to convert him. It was about edifying the camera. Then the next week, I see where he went to the other brothers' camp, my elder camp, and they debated with him. They dealt with the guy. They cut his ass up, sliced and diced his ass. You see what I'm saying? Brothers didn't kick him off and say, man, get the fuck around here. Man, get your bugged out ass around here. Sometimes we do that if the person is ignorant and belligerent. They're disrespectful. That's when we do that, and we just ignore them and keep prophesying. But if a person come up there with a contrary view, all right, and they are coherent, yeah, we dialogue with them, just like Vocab. Vocab didn't come up there disrespecting the brothers. Vocab came over there in a respectful manner, and the brothers dealt with them, man. So you younger brothers, when you see brothers debating their cause and men are rightly dividing the scriptures, and the person they're doing it with is not receiving it, is not getting it, all right, that don't make the brothers a fool. All right, people look on that camera and they get edified from that, man. All right, edification comes out of debate. All right, and it's all throughout scripture. All right, now I'm gonna get Acts. I'm gonna get this one in the blue letter. All right, Acts 18 and 28. All right, I thought I had the blue letter already pulled up. Salakia for me not being more thorough on point. All right. This is Acts, the book of Acts 18, verse 28. And it reads, all right, this talking about Paul, all right? For he mightily convinced the Jews, and that publicly showing by the scriptures that Yahushua was the Mashiach. You know what? Let me read up a few verses. All right. This is Matthew 8 and 27. All right. And when he was disposed to pass into Achaia, the brethren wrote, exhorting the disciples to receive him, who when was come helped him much which had believed through grace. For he mightily convinced the Jews that public and that publicly showing by the scriptures that Yahweh Shai was the Mashiach. And you got to know the majority of the circumcision of Jews didn't receive Yahweh Shai. That's why Paul went to the uncircumcision. All right. Now let me get that word convince in the blue letter. All right. That word convince in the blue letter is
Strong's G 1246. Dia kataleg chomai.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. And the scripture means to confute with rivalry and effort in the contest. All right. And when you confute with rivalry and effort in a contest, edification comes out of that. Long as the people are coherent and respectful. Okay. That comes with the territory. And then sometimes tempers flare, but long as edification is going on. Sometimes a brother zeal get the best of them and you get on a demon ass. They might be passionate. Both sides will be passionate. But long as edification comes out, the scriptures coming out, and nobody's over talking each other, that happens. Paul confuted and rivaled with the Jews, all right? To show that Yahweh Shai was the Mashiach, because most of the Jews did not believe on Yahweh Shai, okay? He confuted. That comes with the territory, all right? I'm gonna stay in the blue letter. I'm gonna get Matthew to show that our great king, man, he had to lay down law. He debated throughout the scriptures. All right, this is Matthew chapter 11, verse 20, and it reads, "Then began he to upbraid the cities wherein most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not." All right, now he started cursing people out. Woe unto thee, Chorazin. All right, woe unto thee, Bethsaida. Now these people that's not receiving what he's saying, and he cussing their asses out. For if the mighty works were done in you, had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. He didn't just shake the dust off his feet and walk away from them. He rebuked their asses, okay? Now I'm about to get that word upbraid, because it say he went through the cities upbraiding. So I'm about to get this word upbraid in the blue letter. All right? Did I pull up the wrong? Yeah, here we go. Upbraid. It's the Greek word.
Strong's G 3679. Anaidizo.
Anadizo. I could pronounce that. Anadizo. All right. Now let's see what it says. I just pressed it. What the fuck going on? All right. Here we go. He went through. He was reproaching them. He was reviling them. Upbraiding them. That means he was rebuking them. He reviled, upbraid, cast in one's teeth. All right. He was getting on their asses. All right. Defame, rail at, chide, taunt, cast in teeth. Let me see what cast in teeth means. Because we don't vain jangle here in Great Millstone. All right. So let's see what cast in one's teeth means, if they got it in the dictionary. Is it here? No, they don't tell you what cast in one's teeth means. Oh, I'm tripping. They're not going to show me what cast in one's teeth, because it's not in the scripture. I'm tripping. Salaki. But it means he was rebuking their asses, man. All right? Sometimes rebuke comes with the territory. Sometimes you got to cuss these devils out. All right? When that guy came up there, we rebuked him sternly, because what he was bringing out forth was blasphemy. We didn't hit him with no ad hominem attack. We dealt with him in a respectful manner, but we let him know he was going off according to the scriptures. Okay? All right? Now I'm gonna go straight here and show what our great king did. All right? This is John the 8th chapter. All right. And I'm going to start at the 39th verse. Then answered in John 8 and 39. All right. Now let's look at this dialogue. Let's see if this is people receiving what our great king said. All right. Let's see if this is just somebody receiving the truth, who he's talking to. Then answered and said unto Abraham. Then answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. And Yahweh said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me. So he's talking to people trying to kill him. All right. He's debating. Somebody trying to kill you, that's most definitely a debate. A man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of my father, Yahweh, and this did not Abraham. You do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even Yahweh. All right. So this is a debate going on. This is a dialogue. And both of these parties have contrary views. And Yahweh said it to them, if Yahweh were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came forth from Yahweh. Neither I came out of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. All right. Look what our great king did. This is most definitely an hominous attack. Verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you would do. All right. That's a stern rebuking. All right. That's a stern cussing. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because the truth is because there is no truth in him. And when he speak of a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay. Now I'm gonna skip down to the part, because I'm not gonna read all of it. I'm pressed for time. All right. Verse 57. I'm gonna read the last part. And Yahweh said unto them, verse 58, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Now, this whole chapter is a dialogue, all right, of two people with contrary views, and they're dialoguing, all right. With this dialogue, it was documented by the Apostle John, all right. Now, through this dialogue, we are edified. Through that controversy, we are edified 2,000 years later, all right. Then took up stones to cast at him, so they tried to kill him. All right. But Yahweh hid himself and went out to the temple to go through the midst of them. And so they passed by. But my point is, out of that dialogue, out of that debate, edification still came out of it. Now, it was a bit extreme. Yes, it was a bit extreme. But we don't get to that level. Well, you know what? We have had debates with guys threatening to kill us. We have had debates where people attacked us. That comes with the territory, though. Debate comes with the territory. The servant is not above the master. They called the master of the house Beelzebub. How much more the servant? When you push this doctrine is offensive. When you break down Isaiah 14:2 and cry loud and spare not, that's offensive to Uncle Toms and to the heathens. When you just come out the Bible, this doctrine of life is offensive. Okay? And you can't get around it. Okay? I'm going to get another scripture with the beloved brother Paul. All right? What he did when somebody resisted him. Okay? This is Acts chapter 13. I need chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 5. All right? All right, and all these passages I'm bringing about is debates. All right, and when you read this debate, edification came out of it. All right, and when they were at Salamis, they preached the word of Yahweh in the synagogues of the Jews, and they had also John to their minister. And when they had gone through the isle unto Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar Yahushua, which was the deputy of the county, Sergius Paulus. All right. Now, all these guys we're reading about in ancient Rome, these are Israelite foreigners. These are so-called black men. Okay. A prudent man who called for Barnabas and Saul and desired to hear the word of Yahweh. But Elimus, the sorcerer, all right, he coming with contrary views. For so his name is by interpretation, withstood them, seeking to turn away the deputy from the faith. All right. And that's what happens. When you go out in dialogue, you're going to have people that's going to come against the doctrine of life. But what did the Most High tell us, according to Luke 21:15? He said, I will give you a mouthful of wisdom where the gainsayers can't resist. Why did he give us that scripture? Because you're going to have gainsayers that come to the camp that's going to resist. That happens. Vocab Malone is a gainsayer. The guy that came to our camp last week is a gainsayer. Now, what it is, some guys don't study enough and they be passive aggressive because they don't want to get confounded because they're not studying the way they should, and they don't want to deal with people when they come to their camp. All right, I've seen we had a guy in our camp that was like that. All right, instead of if somebody don't come up disrespectful and they come into dialogue with you, all right, come on, deal with them in the scriptures. But this is what the guy used to do. When somebody would come up against him, man, get the fuck up the block. Get the fuck on down. Nobody want to hear this shit. You don't receive what I'm saying. Get the fuck, nah, you know. And we had to tell him, nah, bro, that dude didn't come up here disrespectful. All you had to do is rightly divide the scriptures. All right, what he bring out, you bring out that mouthful of wisdom and deal with him, man. All right, so that goes on a lot too. All right. But Elimus the sorcerer, for so is his name by interpretation, withstood them, seeking to turn away the deputy from the faith. That happens. That happens at camp. You'll be edifying a person, and then another person come in and try to steal that seed, okay? Then Saul, who is called Paul, filled with the Holy Ghost, set his eyes upon him and said, "O full of all subtlety and all mischief," this is our hominis attack, "thou child of the devil, thou enemy of all righteousness, will thou not cease to pervert the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai?" And I've seen the elders of Great Millstone put curses on guys when they come disrespect the camp. We don't do that no more. We're at the end and it's not expedient. But all through my years of growing, coming up in the faith, it happened all the time. Somebody just disrespect the camp, disrespect the word. They don't apply Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. All right, they don't watch their foot when they come into the Lord. The brothers used to do what Paul did. You put them curses on their asses in the Hebrew, man. That's biblical. All right, it's not going off. It's just that in these last days, it's not expedient, so we don't do that anymore. But if somebody come up respectful, we dialogue with them because the edification comes out of debate. Okay, that's what I'm gonna name this title. And now, behold, the hand of Yahweh is upon thee, and thou shalt be blind, not seeing the sun for a season. And immediately there fell on him a mist of darkness, and he went about seeking some to lead by the hand. This the point here. Now look at the edification that came out. Then the deputy, when he saw what was done, believed, been astonished at the doctrine of the Lord. And that's what happens when you have debate. That's what happened with me. When I used to see people come up and debate the elders of Great Millstone, or when I first came into faith, the way my elder brother that taught me everything, when people would come up to debate him, the way he'll rightly divide the scriptures, he'll slice and dice, but you would bring the wisdom of this world to naught. You would see that they didn't know nothing, and that the Most High has given us a mouthful of wisdom where the gainsayers can't resist. When onlookers look at that, they get edified, man. That's why you young brothers, you Johnny come latelys that don't understand, it's best for y'all to be quiet and look to your older brothers for guidance, man. Some of you guys, y'all got to get under older brothers. Like if you just in a state and you start a camp by yourself, you need to call an older brother that's been doing it for years to get up under him and submit under him. Because a lot of y'all don't know the ordinances or the orders because, you got the zeal. That's beautiful. You come out and teach, but you don't have nobody guiding you, showing the way things go in Great Millstone. All right. Sometimes it's just best to be quiet, man. Okay. In fact, I got another precept. This 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 20. And this is Paul again. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where's the disputer of this world? Paul calling on, he taking on all competitors. Bring on that Buddha shit. Bring on that Islam shit. Bring on that Christian shit. Have not Yahweh made the foolish the wisdom of this world? All right. And that's what happens when we're at camp. People come with all these different philosophies, all these different doctrines. All right. And when they come up to the camp, brothers rightly divide the scriptures, and brothers cut that shit up, and it be bought to naught. It be showed that it's foolishness, that it don't hold no weight. For after that, in wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh, and it pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them which believe. You see what I'm saying? And when you're preaching, you're always going to have people that come up. The prophets always had people coming up debating against them. All right? The apostles always had people coming up against them. All right? When you read Acts the 2nd chapter, when the Spirit fell on the brothers and they started speaking in tongues, people was laughing at them. And then Peter started prophesying, and he said, these men are not drunk. And that day, 3,000 souls got saved, all right? People were contentious at first, all right? So, and you know, that's about it. That's about it on there. You younger brothers, man, when y'all come in and you see brothers using so-called 4-letter words, and you know, older brothers too, you know, you get, if you don't have to, sometimes, you know, your liberty could be a stumbling block to a younger brother when brothers coming in. It's best to watch your tongue and don't say those 4-letter words. You know, a lot of times it'd be expedient not to do it. All right. And you got to watch what you say and how you move around younger brothers. That's, you know, I had to learn that the hard way. Okay. But younger brothers, when you come in, man, and you don't know nothing, all right, you ask questions. You don't just fly off at the handle and say something when you don't know how things go, man. Debate brings forth edification. Now, there is a debate that you ignore the motherfucker when they come up. Let me find that in Philippians. Is it Philippians 2 or is it Philippians 3? This it right here. This is Philippians 2 and 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. Now, when it's just to the point, it's just no understanding go off, strife coming out, everybody angry at each other, the motherfucker cursing you, cutting you off when you talking, and then now they threatening your life and shit. All right, when it come to that, you just ignore the person that come up. Like a lot of time with nigga women, man, you just ignore them when they come out, and you just keep prophesying, act like they're not there. But in lowliness of mind, let each other esteem Salakia. But in lowliness of mind, let each other esteem others better than themselves. All right. And that when you teach, man, you are supposed to be lowliness of mind. All right. You're supposed to have others in consideration. Okay. Especially your brothers. But I brought out that scripture about not doing nothing with strife or vainglory. Oh, I just want to cut this nigga up. Nah. You do it to edify. All right, it ain't about just cutting somebody up. All right, and you younger brothers, when you see somebody come to the camp and they not receiving it, and you see the brother steady dealing with them, tearing with them, it's bigger than the person there. It's bigger than them. All right, that's why the Most High put the spirit on the elders of Great Millstone to use these cameras and go to YouTube. All right. That person in front of you may not be receiving, but the person that come log on to those videos will. So with that, Lord willing, to sit down was edifying to the hearers. I'm going to give infinite honors to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, and Kakadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai, pushing the truth across the four winds. Kwam Yasharala, Baba Ba.